We're back on Windows here, and you can see based on the taskbar at the bottom that we are back on Windows. And we're going to take a look at Metasploit using the web interface that comes with the Community Edition, of course, the other editions as well. The web interface, of course, has a more visual orientation than what we have looked at previously. So, for example, we've got the ability to search modules here. We can look for resource scripts. We can manage any credentials that may be available. You can set up campaigns, look at sessions, do some analysis on hosts and services, vulnerabilities. We can do a lot of different things. Something else that we can do is we can just perform a scan. So previously we had looked at using Nmap to do scans. We can do a scan using the modules that are available within Metasploit. And I had previously set up IP addresses, so all of the IP addresses on my local network. And all I've got to do here is launch scan, or I could do some advanced options here. We could look for UDP, we could look for SNMP community strings. We've got a variety of options there. Something else that we can do is we can import data from Nexpose. The way we do that is we would configure a Nexpose console. I don't have Nexpose configured on this particular system, but if you had Nexpose available to you, whether it was on this local system or whether it was on another system, you would just give it a name and then you would give it the address. So the IP address 192.168.86. Let's say 3, for example. And then 3780 would be the port number because it's going to use the same port that you would use if you were connecting with your web browser. And then you just provided the username and password that you had configured in order to log into the Nexpose console. Just as if you were connecting through your web browser, you're going to configure the Nexpose console. And then that gives you the ability to just run the scan on Nexpose directly from Metasploit. Of course, the other thing that we could do would be to import from a file. And we could select a file if we had done, say, a Nessus scan, for example. We could import data from that just as we had doing the DB import using the MSF console.